again, I mean, it was like 2 weeks I didn't film any video, or perhaps less, but I feel that it's a long time, and I'm so glad to be here again in front of the camera and talking to whoever might want to listen to these thoughts and feelings. Things are going okay. I'm not anxious anymore. Although I'm not anxious because things with the new house are already solved. I have the keys, I have the contract, I have things like clear, yeah? And also those doubts that I had about this house are now clear, in the sense that I have no doubt now. One of the things was the fact that one of my fears was the fact that it's a small village house, and the doors are very narrow, and therefore some of my furniture didn't get in, or it was like too much. And this has allowed me to let go of further other things that I didn't want to take with me, that I was going to take with me, like my desk. I mean, this big desk I have it since 1986 or 87, something like that. I mean, it's ages that I have it, and it's just like, stop it, I don't want that anymore. I don't want the desk anymore. It's like belonging to another life, and then the shelves, this, how do you call that? This piece of furniture made of wood and shelves, and it's so complicated to dismount and mount again. And I'm going to give that away as well. So I'm going to travel light, and I'm throwing away so much, and I'm digitalizing all my files, all the paper that I have. I'm really letting go, and that feels great. So anxiety is not there anymore, although I feel alone, I feel lonely, and sometimes when I wake up with a sense of danger. Perhaps this is because I've been reading the newspapers. I read the newspapers even more than once a day. And the news, as they say, and as it is clear, except like a very few parts, they don't tell the good news, they tell only the bad news, because it seems that only the bad news is the news, yeah? Which in fact creates a sort of nihilism. I mean, seeing only the bad news, because when we look at the news, we think, well, let's see what's happening in the world. But what's happening in the world for the journalist is mainly only the bad news, yeah? And of course the bad news of the planet and of climate change and the fires and the floods and everything is just awful, and it's just like really scary. But it's true that, surely there is something good happening as well. I mean, The Guardian also precisely talking about climate, they do say the good things as well, but mainly the news is the bad things. So we think that we're going to look at what's happening in the world, but that's not true. What we're going to look at is mostly the bad news. And so I thought, well, I mean, years ago when I had a partner, I didn't read any of the news, and it was only my partner who would tell me what was going on in the world if it was something important. So that was some human being who was telling me something, it was far less violent than reading the news. Reading the news is really violent. So, but at the same time I'm feeling a sort of interest in in reading the bad news as well. I mean, I think that probably news is the bad news because people want to read the bad news. I mean, I've recently discovered what's it called? This blog by David Byrne, which is only good news, yeah. Things that make you happy or reasons to be cheerful, yeah. And so I'm receiving it. I signed up, but I tend to be more attracted towards the bad news. Why is that? Well, first of all, I mean, I'm very attracted towards my own problems, yeah? And that has allowed me to address them and to solve them, or at least to use them, yeah, or to transform them. So I'm really interested. If there is a conflict, I can't think of anything else. So I'm very interested in my own pain, and when I'm in pain, I can't think of anything else. So I cannot be distracted, so to speak. So the same with the news, and perhaps this happens to everyone because, I mean, probably people are very drawn to the bad news, to knowing what has happened, you know. But at the same time, it hurts, and this feeling of danger. But I think that because my anxiety was not there anymore, I think that sort of unconsciously I'm looking for something that makes me suffer a little bit, because this suffering makes me more alert, makes me more driven, and makes me more like, I feel that in these days, actually, I'm like not wanting to eat much. In fact, I've lost weight, which I love, of course. I like myself like now, yeah. And the feeling is that of the warrior who is like about to face something difficult, complicated, tough. And so I'm just sort of getting ready and getting strong, and actually not eating less allows me to have more energy. But of course I sleep a little bit worse, so there's a bit of, yeah. But yeah, I really wanted to share my feelings with you because I'm feeling lonely these days, and I just need to talk, to express my feelings and thoughts to someone, to whoever wants to listen. And but everything is going well, and everything is organized, and yeah, so it seems, yeah, well, I mean, I can't say everything is going to be okay, because that would be bullshit, you know. At the same time, I asked a friend if he could come with me, because I'm renting a truck, a sort of van, and I wanted someone else to drive it because it's big and I've never driven something so big. So, but then he can't come anymore. So I thought, well, I'm trying to look for somebody else, because doing this on my own is sort of, you know, it's more stressful. But perhaps I will do it on my own. Perhaps I will just get the truck, have people help me to load it, and then have people over there in France to unload it, but doing the traveling on my own and doing the customs, because I live in Switzerland. That means that I have to declare everything, a list of everything that I have. So it's sort of complicated, and but it's possible as well that I go on my own, and I would be more of a warrior if I do. We'll see. I'll let you know. I forgot to say something important I wanted to share with you. which is while I was doing this, passing all the archive on CD and DVD, I don't know if I said it in the video in English, but anyway, I was passing all this archive to my hard disk because I had all these 300 CDs full of photographs from the past and work from the past. And at the beginning I thought that those CDs perhaps weren't readable anymore, but they were. Perhaps only one of them didn't work, but all of them worked, and I could just review all the things of the past, it was a great feeling, like thinking, gosh, I mean, I've done so much stuff, you know, on the one hand. And then a folder came up called Amore, love. And one picture came out, which is this one. This is my last partner, the partner I had from 2006 to 2012, living together for 3 years from 2007 to 2010. And it was the last time that I had a partner that I was in love. And of course, seeing this, like, I had mixed feelings. Like, on the one hand, of course, it's a bit painful because I'm on my own now, and I haven't had any other partner, like human partner, since then, since 2012. So, but on the other hand, I don't know, it was like, yeah, it's a great feeling, it was a great feeling, although I wouldn't choose that anymore, like, I wouldn't choose to be in love with that person anymore, but of course I would like that. And now, like, moving to another country, it's a new life, and hopefully something will happen, you know. At the same time, I mean, I am married to SPEX. I'm married to my method, to my work, and which was, like, with all the partners I had, it was impossible. Like, it was like seen as a rival, actually. So, in the end, love is there in my life and has been always there, because it's the love for myself, first of all, but the love for my mission and for my work, to which I'm devoted, totally devoted. So, anyhow, it was interesting to see this picture again and seeing myself in love and seeing us in love. And it was moving and it was beautiful to see that, and not too painful.